Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, I'm looking forward to this one. Today we're drinking bourbon. All right, Ben. This is a distillery, and everyone already knows, they've seen the thumbnail, so bring it on in.
All right, we've got, bam, Knob Creek 9-year.
So when I first got into my bourbon journey, which was quite a while ago,
Sure.
several years now, someone suggested Knob Creek. I tried it. I did not understand what 9-year, or there's also a 12-year, what 100 or 120 proof really did to bourbon. And it came across as hot and just...
Yeah, the single barrels are 120. This one's
Right.
100.
And
small batch, 9-year.
I was not impressed. And it took me quite a while to warm up to...
And it's the proof. It's that 100 proof point. You're not ready for it right
and the
away.
age. And it really comes across as noticeable.
It does, yeah, that's true.
And I poured too much, oh well.
You know what? I pour about the exact same amount. So let's just have a pour and enjoy it. So this one, I wanted to do this because we come back and do those classic bourbons sometimes. You know, they can't all be the, some weird distillery or rare and not that we always do rare stuff, but like
Crazy expensive stuff. Or,
or we like to try to run the whole gamut of different kinds of bourbon.
And so just to put a nail in it for those watching at home, this should be available in every liquor store, just about.
Yeah.
And
if not, it's because they ran out temporarily.
Yeah,
they forgot to restock
They can get it if they want, and they may not, choose to carry it, but price-wise?
30 to 35 depending, sometimes down to 25 even, depending on where you're at. Like a big box, like a Sam's Club or a Costco might have it for that.
But this is 9-year age statement. There's some others that have age statements that are like crazy expensive.
Well, and people really like their 10-year bourbons. 10-year is kind of
it is a really good,
a benchmark of like quality. It's like, this is a 10-year bourbon. Well, this is a 9-year. I mean, it's, close enough. It's readily available everywhere, and I think it's excellent. But we haven't gotten into it yet, so let's do that.
Just spoiled the review. I mean,
they don't have to watch anymore.
Nah, you're gonna have to like surprise somehow.
Oak and peanuts.
But wait, see what happens.
A little vanilla, like custardy sort of.
Getting kind of a vanilla note there.
That's kind of the standard I get on this, is like that nice vanilla and almost like that vanilla custard sort of note. It's really rich. It really has the oak influence for sure.
So I'm not noticing that yet. What I'm mostly noticing is like a sugar kind of note, almost like sugar.
The wood sugars?
No, well,
or just like regular.
It just smells like sugar.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, I haven't got the oak influence yet.
Well, let's see if we find it on the taste. Cheers.
There's the oak, big time.
Oh,
but it comes with brown sugar on the tongue.
It does, yeah.
Good, solid density, viscosity.
Still has a little bit of that kind of vanilla custardy stuff on the back, but it's not quite as prominent in the taste. But this is one of those ones, and this was on our list of don't sleep on these bourbons. I think it was, yeah. Yep.
Was it? It should have been, because it's an amazing choice.
And this is one of those ones that just can go toe-to-toe any day with so many twice as expensive bourbons.
Yep.
So many allocated bourbons. And I think maybe, especially if you're new into bourbon, you might not realize that. That's kind of part of like the fun of
discovery.
Yeah, exactly. Of kind of like making your way through the maze that is bourbon and trying to figure out what you like. And it turns out I like almost all of them.
Almost, yep.
And then it just becomes a matter of like, well, I'm in the mood for this, or I'm in the mood for that. Like, this is just so classic.
See, I do get a couple of things on this that are I'd like to call out. Number one, it's totally noticeable that it's older, meaning the wood, it's sitting in the wood for 9 years, is really noticeable because you do get this one note that is kind of aggressive, and it's weird because it's not totally muted or balanced out by the sweetness. There is
I would agree with that, yeah.
A wild, like a ragged edge to it. Now, I tend to like that. It's very oak forward, but I think some people, and maybe me when I was really younger, noticed,
I was just going to bring it back around to that. Like you had started this video by saying when you were new into bourbon, like going to this, I remember when I was new and I tried Wild Turkey 101 for the first time, just as a sipper. I'd had it before the same way everybody had it. Shots at the bar when you're 21.
I didn't do that, but that's a different story.
You're the exception to the rule, I guess.
I definitely am.
But that at the 100 proof point was aggressive, and I was just like, oh my God, that's too much, because I'd heard everybody saying it's such great. And so this one, if you're brand new to bourbon, might be a little bit aggressive.
And it's not the alcohol that's the aggressive part, it's the oak. And that's kind of surprising, but it's also kind of like as you grow in your bourbon journey. That should be a shirt. Maybe a tree in the background.
Well,
I don't know.
Check
out the merch store.
Turn anything we say into a shirt. So, and certainly that'll be there tomorrow. Check out. There is actually a link to a merch store in and our Patreon. So if you want to check that out, you can. There's bonus content, and you get the videos early.
Totally.
So, but this one, what's great about this is that this is one that you can pick up anytime, anywhere, like we said, and it's a fantastic pour. Like you don't have to go to a super expensive or super rare bourbon, and there's times to do that, But you don't want to just, open up your bottle of George T. Stagg and drink it all in a weekend. Not that I would drink this all in a week. That'd be a lot of drinking, but you get my point. Some of those you drink them, but you drink them either on special occasions or sparingly, or like. This is such a good bourbon that, like I said, goes toe-to-toe with so many more expensive and more rare and allocated ones. And you can get it anytime you want.
Totally.
So this is one that you can really, really enjoy and not have to drink sparingly because there's always another bottle on the shelf. And then you get into the single barrels beyond that, and those are just ridiculous. Knob Creek is just fantastic overall.
So I have a theory. So this comes from a bigger company known as
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam. They make a few different bourbon lines, different brands. There is a brand that is controversial, I will acknowledge that, Basil Hayden. They're an 80 proof, kind of luxury, expensive bourbon. Maybe a little bit too expensive. There's some opinions out there. But they're doing some really interesting things. They're doing a subtle smoke. They're doing a toasted barrel. They're doing a 10-year.
They will do anything except release it at a higher proof.
Well, I don't think they'll ever release Basil
Hayden. It is meant for a low proof.
I would like to see them do some of that experimentation on another brand.
We talked about that.
Can you imagine a Knob Creek subtle smoke?
We talked about that in that. I think it was the subtle smoke video. We're like, don't do this stuff to Basil Hayden. Do it to Knob Creek. We had Devil's Cut for our Halloween video.
Exactly.
Do a Devil's Cut, but with Knob Creek at 100 proof and a 9-year age. I get, the age statement went away on this for a while, and so maybe the supply got a little short, and now there is a bourbon boom. But this still seems to be just available everywhere at 9 years, and I would love it if they would take a Knob Creek and do some of that experimental stuff with it. Maybe they have and it didn't turn out. Who knows?
Yeah, it's possible.
Good people of Jim Beam, let us know.
They do some things like I have a maple flavored one.
Yeah.
But that is like maple syrup. It is so crazy sweet, which I kind of like.
Is that like a flavored whiskey?
It is flavored.
Or is it like in a maple barrel or something?
No, it's flavored.
It's okay.
And it is sweeter than maple syrup. Like it's.
Yeah, I've had it. Well, I had some with you one time. It was
It tastes really good, but you can only drink a little.
Yeah, just a tad. Yeah. And then they've got like the twice barreled rye.
True.
That's really good. I don't think they make those anymore, but
I have a regular rye.
Rye is good.
Yep.
So yeah, Knob Creek is just one of those lines from Jim Beam that's just pretty much. I don't know. I don't think I've had a bad aside from that maple one. It's weird, but yeah, I just don't think you can go wrong. All right, well, this has been Knob Creek Small Batch 9-Year on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Till next time. See you next time.